Hi Sudhanshu, thank you so much for taking our time to be with us on the Festival of
My
Wellbeing.
pleasure.
Sudhanshu, you've been in the field of art, glamour, acting. What we've seen in the past is that a lot of people in this field of art and glamour tend to slip into anxiety. Is there a reason that comes to your mind that makes them more vulnerable than anyone else?
I think it's our it's the nature of our job that everybody wants to achieve a lot, right? Everybody wants to achieve or become somebody, right? If there is an expectation, and when there are expectations like that which are very high, you tend to take every failure very seriously and you are hit really hard with it. And sometimes what happens is that in anticipation of something happening or something going wrong or something you want to go right, all of those things, there's a lot of anticipation in our field. And I think that sort of keeps you on the edge a lot mentally. So there is a lot of anxiousness that people go through on a regular basis, you know. And then obviously there are such high stakes. There are people who come here, take up houses, buy cars, pick up loans. A lot of people do that because they feel that it is necessary to be a certain way. Then you bring upon a lot of pressure upon yourself, and so you're constantly living under stress. You're constantly living a life of expectations. You're trying to live your dream, and in this whole process what happens is you are uprooted from that ground that you belong to, and you lose your standing and you forget that you are a human being. There is a very basic requirement of happiness that you need to experience with small things in life, and you need to strike a balance between everything to be able to live a normal life or a life that is balanced. You need to be anxious, you need to be excited, you need to be going through that emotion because you have to perform. It is important to be like that, but at the same time you should also know when to step back, come back to reality, be in your space, experience those small little things around you and that give you happiness, and be normal. People just tend to become a part of this make-believe world which is completely fake, and you lose touch with your real
Inner
self.
real self. But Sudhanshu, isn't it true for any profession? I mean, where people are, there's this fear of uncertainty, the fear of failure. But is it that in your industry, it is more in terms of how you are perceived when you hit the setbacks or the speed bumps on the way?
I think it is not the same in every industry. Obviously, there is a performance anxiety everywhere. But I think in our industry, there's a lot more than that. There is you're in the public eye, right? There are millions and millions of people who are looking at you
Right.
at any given point in time. Whether you are successful or you're a failure, or you are a successful person and then you have failed, or you have failed and then become successful. And at any given point in time, there are millions of people watching, and they're sort of tracking you, your life, everything. And if most of the people, what happens is they tend to take all that very seriously.
So it's perception of perceptions
Yes,
and your
absolutely.
response
Yeah.
to this perception of perceptions.
And you start to live their perception.
Right.
You understand? So when you start to live their perception about you, you're not yourself. And
Correct.
if you're not yourself, then obviously you're going to fall prey to all sorts of negativity, anxiety, depression. It could be anything. So it is important that you find the right space for everything. Their perception is important, but don't work for that. Work for yourself. They will perceive whatever they want to. You have to do what you feel, what gives you happiness, what feels right. Keep performing, keep doing your work, make your money, live your life, and disconnect with that whole perception game of people who are looking at you. Disconnect with it, because that is not supposed to be your space.
Got it. Got it. And Sudhanshu, you've been a poet. And is there some couplet or some poem that describes your thought process on what you just said? Because what the message that you're bringing out is amazing. I mean, it's the reality.
Yeah, it is. I was in Dubai on a holiday, and I was standing at the window looking out at Dubai Marina and the sea, the boats and everything, and tall buildings around, and then Dubai Wheel and all of that. So I saw all that, and I just and I was standing inside my room at the glass window, and there was complete silence from where I was looking at all that.
Right.
While on the other side, there must have been a lot of noise and a lot of life happening there. But from my perspective, there was total silence. So my perception of that was, भीड़ में भी अकेली हैं इमारतें, भीड़ में भी अकेली हैं इमारतें, शोर में भी खामोश हैं इमारतें, न जाने कब से खड़ी हैं मंजिल बनके, लेकिन फिर भी राहों से बहुत दूर हैं इमारतें।
क्या बात है।
कुछ ऊंची हैं, कुछ नीची हैं इमारतें, कुछ ऊंची हैं, कुछ नीची हैं इमारतें, लेकिन फिर भी आसमान छू रही हैं इमारतें। अब लगता है बस दूर से ही अच्छी हैं इमारतें, अब लगता है बस दूर से ही अच्छी हैं इमारतें, जो ले जाएंगी उस फलक तक मुझे, बस मेरी रहबर हैं वही मेरी इबादतें।
क्या बात है, क्या बात है, क्या बात है। दिस इज सो ब्यूटीफुल। इट रिमाइंड्स मी कि अभी पीछे किसी ने लिखा था और मैंने उसको चोरी करके सोशल मीडिया में डाला था कि इस भीड़ में भी हम सब अकेले हैं।
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, एब्सोल्युटली।
एंड इट इज़ सो इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट वी टेक कंट्रोल ऑफ आवरसेल्व्स। आपने जो पहले बात करी थी दैट देयर आर परसेप्शंस ऑफ व्हाट पीपल मे बी थिंकिंग अबाउट यू, बट इफ यू कैन बी ट्रू टू योर सेल्फ एंड वर्क फॉर योर सेल्फ, योर फुलफिलमेंट, then you are not answerable to anyone or anyone's expectations.
Absolutely.
That was a very beautiful message. Thank you so much for taking our time to be with us on BW Wellbeing.
Thank you, my pleasure.